So everyone, welcome. We welcome Tony Ferrari to the room, to the
Woo!
online room. We've got very talented writer and just singer artist, right? I
You,
mean,
man.
you have such a killer voice as well.
Thank you, dude. I appreciate
So I'm learning how to do the screen audio sharing here. So I'm just gonna play I can play a little bit of the clip here so people so of the song we did, track 8 off of the oh, I see you've got a little friend there, Tony.
it. Oh yeah, Roger.
Hey, Roger.
Here. Hey, how are you?
Chilling out.
Yep, just hanging.
I love it. And Tony, so you're in LA too, right?
Yeah.
Okie dokie. Okay, let's see if I can share this song. Can y'all hear that?
Sounds good.
So this is a song that Tony, Chantry, and I all did. What was it, like a year ago?
This is good, this is great, it's okay, I'm in control. Things are golden, they're going my way, I'm on a roll. Feels like I got it all figured out. Carry myself like I own this
Tony, I
town.
remember when you came up with that melody. It was so
This
good.
is good, this is great, looking up for sure. Then it all comes crashing down. Cause I always hit the switch, and the tables start to flip. Why do I do that? Why do I do that? Why do I do that?
Alright.
Why do I do that? Oh, then the walls come up again. The beginning starts
We'll get
again.
it.
Why do I do that? Why
Y'all
do I
up.
do that? Why do I do that? Why do I do that? Oh.
So good.
Dude, you sound amazing, man.
Oh, thank you. So let's talk a little bit about this song. So Chandler, we were talking about that week how we were just talking a lot about this was back to back with the other song, Patient, and they were both kind of just about like kind of based in my reactions and relationships, and but not just relationships, in a lot of other situations as well of life. But switch, the so the song was kind of it was more like angsty. Patient was kind of more like kind of fun and like just vibey and like not so sad. This one has a little more pain in it, and so it's kind of interesting. So the song starts by saying like, this is good, this is great, but I love how the music and the melody they like, the lyrics are saying one thing, but the music is painting another picture in what you're saying. Like I'm trying to hold on, I'm trying to keep it together, but I'm about to break. Like I'm about to just can't hold on to this any longer. This is good, this is great. Yeah, I'm in control. Like you're trying to tell yourself these things and kind of lying because you're not,
Right.
but you're like trying to not snap because at least for me, I'm like, I'm sick. I get sick of snapping. And when the switch comes on, so that's what this does. The title switch, like things are fine, things are okay, but then all of a sudden the switch just goes and I snap and I just freak out and the walls come up, all that stuff. So
Yeah.
I really, this song is so real for me, and I'm just so glad that we captured it, but in such like a cool, way that just gets it moving like this,
Yeah.
But Tony, I remember distinctly when I remember it's like, I don't know, it was just like so surprising to me how good those melodies were when they came out of your mouth. Y'all, when it went, when in the pre-chorus, it feels like I got it all figured, carry myself like I own this town. Oh, I just, so cool. And then I remember, and then in the chorus when it's like, why do I do that? Why do I do it? Like, I don't know how these melodies just came out of Tony and just like, boom.
Well,
Over just that booming groove, that Chantry.
dude, well, and I think I can't remember exactly, but I feel like we had that first melody. I think that was Chantry who was doing like a da 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 da, and I think
it does feel like a Chantry thing.
I think so, but
With
the
us.
first thing freaking came out of Tony's mouth was, it wasn't like, let's try this. It was like, and me and David were just like, yeah, that's it. That's the chorus. That's really good. So, and then it's kind of just, that balance of adding some flow, adding some excitement, in the little melody spots and variation and stuff. But David, do you remember what I remember Post Malone was one of the influences that you came in with. Who was the other artist, a little more chill, like ethereal artist? You said, hey, maybe we could do something like Post Malone meets.
I might have said I never know how to pronounce his name. Khalid.
Yeah.
You had mentioned Khalid, but there was specifically like a band that was like a more chill piano based, like really, really chill, really like pretty music.
Sleeping at Last.
Yes, that's who it was.
Yeah.
Sleeping at Last. Yeah, I'm so glad you have good memories. Me giving false credit but both of you came up with awesome melodies. But yes, Sleeping at Last. I guess that is where it came. That beginning of the song came from the Sleeping at Last vibe.
Yeah, it's really kind of a Sleeping at Last song, just with the the more hip hop urban Post Malone drum thing going on. But other than that, it's more of that, like, it's strings, it's piano, it's it's just an ambient kind of thing, which I think is so appropriate for like the switch thing, where it's like, the calm before the storm and then the boom. And we really tried to capture that, as we approached the verse. It was like, okay, it's fine, I'm fine, okay, all right, it's all good. Everything's all good, and then we're like, oh yeah, and then we get to the chorus, it's just like, and then it all comes crashing down, boom, and then
Yeah.
And I remember we talked about it. It's all coming back to me now as we're talking about it. We wanted to like push it a little further, because David, when we were just kind of talking about relationships and life and stuff, you were just like, it's like this wishy-washy thing, and then something just flips, and it's like, why do I do that? I remember you saying that. I'm like, why do I do that? Okay, that's a nice little hook there. And we kind of, as we talked through it, we discussed that the key to making the song work was not just talking about the wishy-washiness, but how frustrating the wishy-washiness can be. You know what I mean? Because to write a song that says, sometimes I'm this and sometimes I'm that and sometimes I'm this and sometimes I'm that, it's kind of an in the middle thing. But what you were communicating to us, as me and Tony were just talking to you about these things, was that you were tired of that happening. So I think that's where that kind of angst in that chorus comes from, and I think is where a lot of the emotion of the song comes from. Is, yes, I'm wishy-washy and I'm upset about it. I'm angry that I do that. It stinks. Yeah. So anyway, it's coming back to me now. Yeah.
It's all coming back. It's all coming back.
Well, dude, like, I attitude, like when we were talking about doing this call, and I was like, it felt like such an easy day, where it just, because it was so on, and like I feel like your vocal comes through like so honestly with that. And I know the way we talked about it was, kind of specifically with our lives, with being like in music, and this kind of like a, some one day where you feel like, wow, I'm doing it. Like, I'm making awesome music. Next day, like, what am I doing? What's going on? But I feel like that, like, or not, but that happens with so many people. And I feel like it's with just this, like, they're just, and also it's cool that it came out right now, because I've been noticing that, at least with myself, in like the situation where one day is great day, and like the very next morning I'm like, and it kind of is cool that it would come out at like a time like this too, where I think I'm feeling that kind of like, some days I'm like, I don't know, I can't handle this.
Right. Yeah, that is an interesting thing, how people, especially right now, are feeling like, okay, this is good, this is great, I've got it under control. But then there's just like a moment where people just feel like, man, I don't have it all together, and I feel like I'm about to break down and snap, and the switch really flips.
Yeah.
They hit the switch and the tables start to flip.
Yeah.
I do specifically remember, David, I remember you saying, and I just want to grab a table and just flip it over and just,
Yeah.
Me and Tony are sitting there like writing this down. Like, okay, that's good. That's good.
Well, I love that you guys remember those kinds of things and remember. So, and this kind of helps like my followers and fans know how my stories tend to be told. Like I usually am the one like spitting out just a lot of what's going on in my head, how I'm feeling. And then, you know, you, Tony, and you, Chantry, you'll like be like, hey, you said this, and like just make it sound cool. Sorry, the people outside are doing yard work out front. So you might hear a weed whacker rumbling out there. But
Sample it.
But I do want, let me go back to, I do want to hear this, where it goes from this is good, this is great looking up for sure, until the switch hits.
This is great looking up for sure. Then it all comes crashing down. 'Cause I always hit the switch and the tables start to flip. Why do I do that? 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 Oh, then the walls come up again. The beginning starts to end.
I want to talk a little bit about that too real quick. Just sorry, because this song is just a little heavier, so what I like too is where it says, you know, we heard the switch hit into the chorus and the tables flip, but then it says the walls come up again. So I like that just because that's been a challenge of mine, especially in relationships, is like when things start looking good, it's like there's an alarm that goes off in my mind, and it's like major warning, shut down. And it's like, wait a second, but why? Like there's nothing wrong here. And it's like, nope, that's the problem. It's good. So we're going to shut this down and we're going to put the walls up. And that's another part of my frustration that I get. So I like that line there. Can we go to the second verse here?
Holding tight to the plan, holding tight to the plans in my hands till they slip away. Criticize every idea that I ever have to make.
Okay, I want to talk. I just love these lines. I really love the lyrics in this. Y'all, I get emotional when I listen to this song still. Like I'm just like, I've shed a few tears listening back on this song.
Oh, wow.
But then I'm like getting teary-eyed in the car and like grooving like this, all these emotions at once. But so the second verse, it says, holding tight to the plans on my hands, in my hands till they slip away, right? And then criticize every idea that I ever have to make. It's just kind of like talking about the frustration you can feel with yourself, where it's like you can't. You have a hard time looking at yourself in a good light, in a positive way. So that's kind of that line. If anyone has any remembrance on these, feel free to let me know. I love your guys' memory, like talking points as we were writing the song.
I'm trying to think. I don't remember how verse 2 quite came about. Tony, do you remember much about verse 2?
No, but I was listening to it today when it came out, and I was like, wow, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I feel like you may have talked about like holding on to something so tight that it just like slips through your hands because you're trying.
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like I vaguely remember that. Yep.
Yes, holding tight to the plan. Yes, absolutely. Yep. And then it continues. So criticize every idea that I ever had to make. Caught in the act, putting on that show. Keep up the pace till my feet get cold.
I love that line.
Yeah. Can you give a little detail behind what that is? Kind of like the imagery of that, Tony.
You know, I feel like I loved the idea. I can't remember how that out. Just the idea of like you're so in something. You're just like full speed in it, and then you know the play on like cold feet where it really is just full forward movement on something until it's just not hit that switch. And I feel like I love that playing on the both feet. Just so, and it works like you said, I can't remember if when we wrote that you were talking about the like relationship aspect, but I feel like that's just that feeling that I can have with so many things, you know, like so many things where you're so in it until you're just not.
Right. Yeah. It's like fear creeps in. Like you're going through something in your life. You're like, you know, I think this is a really cool opportunity. And just all of a sudden you're just like, wait, it's like that what if creeps in and like just overcomes like a virus or in your computer of your mind, and it just completely rewires it, and you just kind of like flip out. And I feel like this song did a really great job of explaining how you can, I don't know, I think sometimes people feel those moments where just suddenly that just when that fear hits you like a wall, that insecurity, and it feels like that, like a whack, just like, and kind of picks you up.
And what you said, which is kind of like an interesting point, is like when you hit that, whatever the thing is, it might not even actually be a real thing. It's just like a thought of, like you said, what if. It's like a what if isn't an actual thing we encounter. It's just this thought. So it could be based off of something so little as that, just like this idea where you question everything.
Do you have any thoughts on this verse?
Man, I just really love this song. I think this one was definitely one of my favorites we've ever done. I love the wordplay. I love the mood. I love the combination of styles. It feels unique, and you know, it's moving, and I'm really proud of it. It was definitely one of the ones I was most excited about putting out. So glad it's out, and hope people are enjoying it.
Yeah, and you did such a great job with the production. Like it just feels good. Like everything it feels clean. Like I feel like that's your sound too. Chantry just has a clean sound to his production and tracks.
Clean sound where the drums be smacking.
Great teamwork, you guys. Let's do some more sessions, more music to the world.
Yeah, I feel like this chat is like already we could write another song based off of this conversation, which is how writing usually starts. Like this whole idea of what if and all that. I'm like, well, there's another song that I guess. But
we're close on screen, but there's space in between. My production is clean.
All right.
We are to write a new tune. Let's
go. Let's go.
Let's do it. Well, hey, thanks so much, Tony, for hopping on and chatting.
Dude, of course. I'm so excited it's out, man. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, and I hope that you stay well and stay safe over there with Roger.
We'll be here. We'll be safe. He's sleeping.
He looks like a cool dog, like my kind of dog. I like chill dogs.
He is awesome.
Cool, man.
But congratulations. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Tony. Tony Ferrari, everybody. Woo!